My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. The Panthers and the Buffalo Bills. Panthers had a 3-game winning streak. 4 out of their last 5. 3-0 at the bank. Those Bills came to town. I kept telling people this is going to be their toughest game of the season. Oh no, Coach Cherry. Buffalo's not the same team as last year. They still got Josh Allen, don't they? They still got James Cook III, don't they? Khalil Shakir is still there, right? And in the words of the great Chris Berman, nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. We're going to talk about that and more on this episode of the Coach Cherry Show.
Go ahead and go get it. Just tell me how. When you want it and gotta have it, it's light work. Watch me do what I do. It's really light work.
Watching today's game. Say, Coach Cherry, why are you holding this football? Because I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get out there and I still got some carries left. Don't sleep. I still got some carries left. 40-9. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I expected Buffalo to win today. I did. And I'm a Panthers fan. I wanted Carolina to win. I was rooting for Carolina. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. But I said, they're not going to beat Buffalo, y'all. I mean, in the offseason, in the preseason, I hear stuff like the Panthers can do this and do. Come on, y'all, let's be realistic. Yes, they're doing well. Yes, they're doing better than last year. They only had 5 wins last year. Now, notice this. They're improving each season, right? Bryce Young's first year, 2 wins. Last year, 5 wins. They're already at 4 wins. Let's just slow down now. They're not going to win 10 or 11 games this year. Let's slow down. So what you want them to do is win more than 5. If they can go about 7-10, I think that's a successful season. But I was not expecting 40-9. I was not expecting a beatdown. And I'm going to be real with you. This game was over early. Let me put this up before maybe Coach Canales can call me for next week when they go to Green Bay and play on the frozen tundra. This game was over early. Panthers get the ball first. 3 and out. Andy Dalton sacked on 3rd down. Punt. Buffalo's first possession. Field goal. Okay, no big deal. 3-0. Panthers' second possession. Andy Dalton tries to scramble out of the pocket. Fumbles. When Andy Dalton fumbled, I said, uh-oh, that's it. It's only 3-0. No. I've played in enough games. I've coached enough games. I've watched enough games. I know when a certain play happens, and that is it. I don't care how early it is in the game. I've seen games, I've played in games where one play happens early, and it's like the momentum shifts and you never get it back, especially if you're not a very good team. I know the Panthers are 4-3. I get it. They're 4-3. But a 4-3 Panthers team this year, I still, based on what I've seen, I wouldn't consider that a strong team. Not a strong enough team to overcome that. What do you mean overcome that, Coach? It's 3-0. You're down 3-0. And you're giving. See, when you're playing a good team, you don't want to give them extra possessions. It's going to be tough enough to stop Buffalo with the possessions they have. So as a defensive coordinator, as a defense, I'm thinking, okay, we got to stop Josh Allen. We got to stop James Cook. We got to stop Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. Now Dalton Kincaid. They have so many weapons. We have a challenge just stopping that with the possessions they're going to get naturally during the course of a game. Now you're going to give them extra possessions? No, you can forget about that. No. When you turn the ball over and give a good team extra possessions, you can forget about it. When Andy Dalton fumbled, Buffalo recovered. I said, that's it. Now, Buffalo took it, went down, kicked the field goal. And even though it was just 6-0, I said, that's ball game. In the words of the great Billy Packer, that's ball game. Because I saw that the momentum had shifted, and I said, they're not going to be able to get it back. And then on top of that, no Bryce Young. Now, here's the thing. Say what you want about Bryce Young. Some of you have criticisms about Bryce Young. But I think you saw today they are better with Bryce Young. Bryce Young ain't this and Bryce Young ain't that and we need another quarterback in the Bryce. And I kept telling the situation that the quarterback is in matters. Look at the history of the Carolina Panthers. You had an example in Sam Darnold, and you chose to ignore it. Sam Darnold came here and didn't play that well. Got rid of him. Now he's playing lights out in Minnesota last year and now in Seattle. Baker Mayfield came here. Didn't look good. Got rid of him. Now he's in the MVP discussion in Tampa. Going to the playoffs every season. Top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Now, you explain that to me. So when you criticize Bryce Young, well, he didn't play today. Now you put Andy Dalton in the same situation that Bryce Young has been in. How'd that work out for him? I said, how'd that work out for him? Early turnovers. That's been one of the knocks on Bryce Young this season. He turns the ball over early in the game and gets the Panthers in a hole. Okay, well, you had a different quarterback. Any turnovers early in the game? Yep, you bet. The fumble that Buffalo took and got 3 points out of it. And then the interception that Dalton threw where they almost ran it back for a touchdown, ran it down to about the 1 yard line, and Josh Allen punches it in. That's 10 points. That's 10 points off turn with a different quarterback. The situation matters. Cam Newton, and see, I've said this before, Cam Newton is the only quarterback in Panthers history that's really been able to flourish despite the circumstances or the situation. It's Cam Newton. I know what you're going to say. What about Kerry Collins? He took the Panthers to the NFC Championship. He did. But Kerry Collins only threw for about 2,000 yards that year. He didn't do a lot. Now, that was defense. That was the Panthers' defense. For those of you that say Cam Newton had the help of the defense, yeah, they had a good defense that year, 2015, they did. But the Panthers also had the #1 offense in the NFL. Go look it up. 2015, the Carolina Panthers had the #1 offense. So it wasn't the defense carrying that team. As a matter of fact, their defense wasn't even top 5. In giving up points per game, their defense wasn't top 5. Yards per game, their defense wasn't top 5. So they didn't even have a top 5 defense. So the defense didn't carry. That was Cam Newton. Bryce Young has had a hard time, y'all. Criticism, unfair. The lack of mobility from Andy Dalton, I felt like would hurt Carolina. The lack of mobility, I felt like hurt. Because he's not able to extend plays. See, when you're playing on an average or a below average team, if you're the quarterback, you have to be able to improvise. Why do you say that? Because the blocking is not always going to be there. The receivers are not always going to get open. Plays are going to break down if you're not on a great team. And you have to be able to improvise and make a play, just you individually. It's the same thing in basketball. If I'm a good player on an average or below average team, I got to make something happen. I got to make LaMelo Ball. He's got to make plays. He doesn't have the luxury of other point guards who are on teams that have elite talent around their point guard. He didn't have that luxury. No, he's got to make play. He has to show up every night. And see, that's why Bryce Young sometimes can appear to be playing bad. Because if he doesn't show up, then all the attention is on him. It is very tough for the Panthers to win when Bryce Young doesn't have a good game. Look at Josh. You want to talk about good teams? Look at Josh Allen today. Look at Josh Allen. Because of James Cook III, Josh Allen didn't have to do much. Josh Allen was 12 of 19 for 163 yards. That's it. That's all Josh Allen did. I said 12 of 19 for 163 yards. You know why he didn't have to do much today? Because James Cook ran for 216 yards on just 19 carries. Averaged over 11 yards per carry. So Josh Allen can just sit back and say, oh, might as well. Now, Bryce Young had that game this year with Rico Dowdle in Dallas. Notice that. He didn't have to do much against Dallas because Rico Dowdle just ran wild. That ain't the norm. That's the only time that he's had a 200-yard back this season. Then the next week, what did Rico Dowdle do? Had another big game. So Bryce Young can just, now he's looking comfortable. But now, got to carry the team. You got to carry the team. So he's in a tough situation. Where are the big plays? Huh? Carolina needs to start having explosive plays. Where are the big plays? You got to step on that field. And it's tough for Coach Canales, too. Coach Canales calling those plays, and you don't have a home run hitter, that's tough, y'all. James Cook had a 64-yard touchdown run today. Where is that on Carolina's side? Where's that? So now, when Buffalo steps onto the field, it becomes easier for Josh Allen. It becomes easier for Coach Brady, the offensive coordinator. When you hand the ball off to James Cook and he goes 64 yards for a touchdown, oh, that made that series easy. But when you don't have a big player like that, you know, when are the Panthers going to have a 60, 70-yard touchdown? When are they going to have that? Okay, so that's one from James Cook. Khalil Shakir. Josh Allen throws him a simple, quick, boop, right out into the flat. Zoop, zoop, zoop. 54 yards for a touchdown. They had 2 touchdowns of over 50 yards in one game. When are the Panthers going to have that? Now, I think that can come from Jimmy Horn Jr. And I'm scratching my head wondering why is Jimmy Horn Jr. not returning kicks? Why is he not returning kicks? When I look at Jimmy Horn, first of all, do not put a running back at kick returner. Trevor Etienne should not be returning kicks. No, that's just not it. That's not it, y'all. Rico Dowdle, come on now. He should not be returning kicks. When I look at Jimmy Horn Jr., I'm saying, there goes your kick returner right there. That's your kick returner right there. The shiftiness, the speed, the ability to make people miss and outrun people. You want to get the ball in the hands of your playmaker. And if Jimmy Horn Jr. is not getting catches, what's another way to put the ball in his hands? Punt return and kick return. Because look at the passing game today. Look at the passing game today. Teteroa McMillan, who is nice. T-Mac is nice. 7 catches, 99 yards. T-Mac is, the only thing about T-Mac, he's not a home run hitter. As good as Teteroa McMillan is, he's not a home run hitter. I wish we could hit T-Mac for a 70-yarder. Boom, touchdown. An 80-yard, 65-yarder. I guess that ain't him. Now, underneath, oh, he's hurting you all day. Tearing your defense up. Underneath, these 9 and 10, 11-yard, boom, boom. Drag routes across the middle, 10-yard out, curl, sit down in the zone. Oh, he's hurting you. He's tearing your defense up. But he's not a home run hitter. If they could complement T-Mac with a home run hitter, now we got something. T-Mac had 7 catches for 99 yards, right at 100 yards. The next highest receiver was Jalen Coker, 3 catches for 36 yards. That's it. The next highest receiver didn't even have 40 yards. Jatavion Sanders, 3 catches for 19 yards. Xavier Legette, 2 catches for 17 yards. Tommy Tremble, 1 catch for 4 yards. Y'all, that's not going to get it. And Jimmy Horn had 1 target. Jimmy Horn Jr. had one target. They've got to get him more involved in the offense. Got to get Jimmy Horn Jr. more involved in the offense. Now, I heard this today, and Panther fans, I know we didn't want to hear this. 3 of the Panthers' next 4 games are on the road. 3 of the next 4 on the road. They have the 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL remaining. Wow. I said they have the 3rd toughest schedule in the NFL the rest of the season. They have to go to Green Bay next week. That's not going to be easy. They still have to go to Atlanta. They have to go to San Francisco. They have the Rams coming to Charlotte. They have to play Tampa twice. They got to play Sam Darnold in Seattle. Tough schedule. I still think they can get to 6 or 7 wins. They're 4-4. I think they can beat New Orleans here in Charlotte. They may be able to beat New Orleans in New Orleans. That could be 6 wins. And I think after that, either the Atlanta game, maybe even Seattle. The tricky thing about Seattle is this. It's the next to the last game. It's the 16th game of the season. And it's at home. I think that's a winnable game for Carolina. I just don't know where their state of mind is going to be at that point. If the record or the season is gone or done, have they checked out in week 16 or game 16? Have they checked out already? Because their bye week, they still got to ride to their bye week, y'all. They got 5 more games until the bye week. So their bye week is not anytime soon. Will they have checked out by the time Seattle comes to town? That may be a big determining factor on whether or not they have 6 or 7 wins. But playoffs, at least from my perspective, that was never the goal this season. I told you 2 years ago, 2 wins. Last year, 5 wins. This year, my hope for the Panthers was 7 wins. 7-10. And then next season be the playoffs. I think if they can get to 6 or 7 wins this year, I think next year you say, we're trying to make the playoffs. Add some more pieces. A lot of injuries on the offensive line today. I saw Taylor Moton went down. Brady Christensen, I think they said Brady Christensen, I think, was an Achilles injury, did they say? He might be done for the season. Cade Mays went down. Derek Brown, his defensive line, and they do not need that at this point of the schedule, with the schedule starting to strengthen. We're going to see how they finish. The Panthers look like they could have used a boost of energy. They didn't come out strong. They didn't come out with gosh, you're 3-0 at home and you came out with that effort? I don't know about that. You're 3-0 and you came out with that effort? No, you 4-3. See, I thought they would come out with a little more oomph. Now, I didn't think they were going to win the game, but 40-9 I didn't see coming. I thought they would come out with a little more oomph because, gosh, you're 3-0 at home and you're 4-3. This was a chance to make a statement. Where's the energy? This was a chance to make a statement. And they came out flat, y'all. But in case the Panthers need an energy, I have an option for them. They may be able to use this to get an energy boost. Nella. This segment is brought to you by Nella, a performance probiotic by FitBiomics. If you're looking to have an energy boost or improve your digestion or get a good night's sleep, obviously getting a good night's sleep can help your energy, then you can try the performance probiotic Nella at fitbiomics.com. Use the code CoachCherry for your discount. Let me know how it works out for you. This is a great way. This is an option, y'all. How's your digestion? Need to get that thing back on track? Nella can be the solution. Use the code CoachCherry at fitbiomics.com. If you're looking for a way to have more energy throughout the day, a way to improve your digestion or to get better sleep at night, There's a performance probiotic by FitBiomics called Nella and Vanilla. My wife had a surgery, and since the surgery, she had some digestion issues. We were looking for ways to help correct that. Nella can be that choice. Nella is revolutionizing health for everybody. How, you might ask? They studied the microbiomes of the most fit and healthy people thriving in the modern world, decoded what biologically makes them unique, and translated the extraordinary into these cutting-edge performance probiotic capsules. Nella can give you the guts to be your best self. Everyone wants good energy throughout the day. Everyone wants good gut health. Everyone wants to get a good night's sleep. Those Friday evenings, those Saturday evenings, you want to have a good time and relax and be comfortable. If you'd like to try Nella, visit fitbiomics.com and use the code CoachCherry. You can get Nella or Vanilla. fitbiomics.com. Use the code CoachCherry at fitbiomics.com. The Charlotte Hornets, they look good in game one, y'all. Yes, they did. They had the entire roster, and this is what we've been waiting to see. I know what you're going to say. They played Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's not one of the strongest. It doesn't matter. It's still professional basketball. It's still an NBA game. And they put up 136. I don't care who you play. That's impressive. What I saw from the Charlotte Hornets in that game against Brooklyn, I saw a team that's a lot deeper than it's been in years past. I did. I wanted to start LaMelo Ball and Colin Sexton, and I'm glad that's what we saw. Well, I wanted to start LaMelo Ball and Colin Sexton, but Con Knipple got the nod, and it worked out. Sexton, it worked out. I would like to see Sexton starting. Knipple's looking good, though. I think Knipple's in a good situation. As long as everybody stays healthy, I think Knipple is in a good situation. Now, if guys start getting hurt, and then he has to do more, I don't think that's the situation you want Con Knipple to be in. If guys start getting hurt, now you would rather have an Ace Bailey in that situation. You'd rather have a Trey Johnson, a VJ Edgecombe. But Con Knipple right now is looking solid, y'all. I gotta give it up to him. He's looking good. So they go play Philly in game 2. Brandon Miller gets injured. When I saw Brandon Miller walking to the locker room, I said, no, not again. Not again. They're much more equipped to deal with it this year because of the depth. And you have a Colin Sexton and a Trey Mann is healthy. You have a Con Knipple. You have Sion James, who I like to call LeBron James' other son, just because his last name and he's built like LeBron. So with Trey Mann, Con Knipple, and LeBron James' son, and Colin Sexton, you have more depth this year. So even when Brandon Miller went out, Charlotte was still in position to win that game against Philly. Yes, they were. As a matter of fact, they were up 10 late in the fourth quarter. LaMelo Ball took a three-pointer. I didn't like that shot. I'm talking about less than a minute, tied at 119. See, that's the stuff LaMelo has to get out of his game. No, LaMelo. You took that shot? You're tied at 119 with 30-something seconds, and you took this step back three. Why? Just get a basket. LaMelo Ball is a big point guard. If it's 119 to 119, I want him to get in the paint. No, I'm not saying he has to dunk it on somebody. I'm not saying he may not even score the basket. I want the tall, big point guard who is LaMelo Ball to get both feet in the paint and make a play. Whether it's scoring or setting. Kalkbrenner had missed all night. So the drive and drop off to Kalkbrenner had been there all night. It had been there all night. So if LaMelo, I think Kalkbrenner was 7 of 7. LaMelo gets 2 feet in the paint. Kalkbrenner's been there. I'll even take a kick out to a Miles Bridges who was knocking down shots. I'll take a kick out to a Con Knipple who can knock it down. A Colin Sexton. But not that 3 LaMelo. That's the next step he has to take. Too good for that. It's too good for that. And what you'll see is, you may say, it's only one game, Coach Cherry. No, it's not. Go look at the playoff races last year. That stuff comes down to 2 and 3 games. One game is a big difference. One game can change your season. One game can be the difference between the 6th seed and the 7th seed. 6th seed, you're comfortably in the playoffs. 7th seed, you're in the play-in. You got to play your way in. That's what one game can do. No, LaMelo, I don't want to see that shot. I don't want to see it. I think the Hornets can finish. Don't know how long Brandon Miller's out. But I think they can finish top 6, maybe even definite top 7. Look at the Hornets division, y'all. Y'all, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Huh? Tell me what's so intimidating about this division. The Miami Heat, the Washington Wizards, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Orlando Magic. Who in that division do you look at and say, whoa, Charlotte, they don't want no parts of the Washington Wizards or the Atlanta Hawks? Really? They don't want the Miami Heat. Huh? And I'm going to even say this. A healthy Charlotte team, I'll put them against Orlando. As long as they're playing smart. I will match them up against, yes, I will. Paolo Banchero. I know who he is. I know who Paolo Banchero is. That's fine. LaMelo Ball. Well, as a matter of fact, the Hornets are playing the Washington Wizards as we speak. Game 3 of the NBA season. They're up 18 with 3 minutes remaining. 127 to 109. You want to compare? Miles Bridges has 22. We talked about the depth. Con Knipple has 20. Colin Sexton has 17. LeBron James' son has 10. And I'm going to be honest with you, this Sion James guy, I didn't see this coming from him. I'm going to just keep it all the way real with you. I did not see this coming from Sion James. LaMelo Ball, 38 points. Yeah. 13 rebounds, 13 assists. LaMelo Ball has a triple-double tonight. As we're speaking right now, with 3 minutes left in the game, LaMelo Ball has a triple-double. And I'm talking about a big one. I ain't talking about 10, 10, and 10. I said 38 points and 13 assists and 13 rebounds. I'm talking about, and 3 steals. You want some steals? 3 steals. I'm talking about hooping. 5 of 12 from 3. 13 of 25 from the field. Shooting over 50% from the field. That's the LaMelo Ball I'm talking about. And watch this. 13 assists, only 4 turnovers. That's pretty much a 3-to-1 ratio. I will take that every night. That's the LaMelo Ball I'm talking about. LeBron James' son gave you 10 off the bench. Moussa Diabate gave you 12 and 10 rebounds. I like Moussa Diabate. I said I would have started Moussa Diabate over Kalkbrenner. Moussa has a double-double coming off the bench. Kalkbrenner, hold on, let me give Kalkbrenner his 4 points, 5 rebounds. Okay, he holds it down somewhat. The Hornets wouldn't have been able to survive this Brandon Miller injury last year. They wouldn't have survived it. It would have thrown them completely off. What's Trey Mann doing tonight? Trey Mann's not playing much. But the Hornets should be able to finish in the top 6 or 7. They're up 130 to 109 with 2 minutes left. The Hornets are about to go to 2-1. Speaking of the NBA, I saw 2 things the other night, y'all. Did you see Victor Wembanyama? I said Victor Wembanyama. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We talk about skill. I watched Victor Wembanyama the other night. and really his first 3 games. The Spurs are 3-0. I hope you know that. The Spurs are 3-0, and Victor Wembanyama is averaging 34 points and 13 rebounds. What I saw him do the other night at 7'4", 7'5", I've never seen that before, y'all. I've never seen that. Victor Wembanyama can be the most dominant player in basketball. At 7'5", how do you guard him? There were plays where he blocked a shot. Stephon Castle received it. And Stephon Castle, who's a point guard himself, didn't bring it up. He pitched it to Victor Wembanyama. Wemby advanced it. And not only did Wemby advance it, Wemby made plays. He advanced it and went into a ISO, in and out. I'm talking about against Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was one of the top defenders in the NBA. Hit him with a left hand, in and out, left hand, Came down another time, hit him with a tween, behind the back, step back, 3, At 7'5", you're doing that, sir? Wemby can be, because Joel Embiid had a point where he was arguably the most dominant player in the NBA, but Embiid doesn't move nearly like Wemby does. No. Embiid can't bring it up, and I've seen Embiid bring it up, but he ain't got the bag that Wemby has. No, not even close. We haven't seen anything like this. 7'5", he's doing that. He's knocking down 3-pointers at 7'5". He's hitting. Another play, I saw him dribble to the baseline, go into his right, and pull up for a mid-range. What is going on out here? The Spurs are 3-0. Keep your eye on that San Antonio team. I know the West is loaded. The West is you got OKC and you got Houston and Golden State and Denver. I'm not saying that if Wemby can stay healthy, I just think about a 7'5" guy playing that many games. That's my only concern. Can a 7'5" player hold up for the duration of an NBA season? And I'm not one that's, I came up in an era where guys played every night. I'm not a big load management guy. I see the benefits of it, especially a player like Wemby. That's 7'5". I see the benefits of load management with him. And I'll be honest with you, it may be smart for a guy like that to gosh, I hate to say take a night or two off, but you got to find some way to rest him. Because I just wonder, does a 7'5" frame hold up for the duration of an NBA season? Huh? But we haven't seen anything like Wemby. I'm talking about, we've seen 7-footers. We've seen Kareem. We've seen Wilt Chamberlain. And the NBA used to be full of 7-footers. And the Bill Russells and who else? Shaq. Even Shaq. Shaq, some say, is the most dominant player ever. We've seen, who else? The Sean Bradleys and the George Murasans and the Yao Mings and the Manute Bol. We've seen 7-footers. We haven't seen one like this. No, we haven't. Not even Joel Embiid. Nikola Jokic. But Nikola Jokic doesn't move like Wemby. Yes, Nikola Jokic is dominant. But when I say the most dominant player in basketball, you can guard Nikola Jokic and feel like you have a chance because you can stay right there with him. You feel like, okay, he's putting up triple-doubles too, but I got a chance. With Wemby, the way he's playing, he can make you feel helpless. Like, coach, there's nothing I can do with this. Wemby might make it tough on coaches too. Because for these younger players that are watching a Wemby, how do you tell a tall kid now, go down to the other end, get my bigs down at one end and my guards at the other? How do you do that now? And you got a 7'5" guy bringing the ball up the court shooting threes. You got a guy like Nikola Jokic who they run the offense through. They're running the offense through him. Like a point center. I don't even know if that's a position, but like a point center. How do you tell younger players now that are tall, you can't bring the ball up the court? Play in the paint. You need to post up. Do you see what I'm watching? Joel Embiid is shooting threes now. Coach, do you see how the game is being played on TV now? It might be tough, coaches, to tell these younger players to buy into that because they see how the game is changing. I also noticed Steph Curry the other night. Now, y'all, we're going to have a conversation about this. We're going to have a conversation about this, y'all. Steph Curry, who is 37 years old, in his 17th season. See, we talk about LeBron's longevity. We may even talk about Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul's in his 20th season, Chris Paul's longevity. Steph Curry's in his 17th season at 37 years old. And not only is he in his 17th season, he's still the guy. Some guys we would see after about year 13 or 14, they kind of start to decline a little bit. And they may still be in the league, but they become a role player. They may be coming off the bench now. Steph Curry is, did you see Steph Curry the other night? I mean, Steph Curry is like, he's in his prime. You don't believe me? Look at this. Steph Curry is averaging 33 points a game at 37. Okay, let me keep going because some of you ain't sold on that. He's averaging 33 points. He's shooting over 50% from the field, y'all. This guard, who is not one of the biggest players, shooting 52.5% from the field, shooting 45% from three, and 100% from the free throw. He ain't missed the free throw yet. 3 games, he ain't missed the free throw. 45.7% from three, almost 46%. Is Steph Curry in your top 10? I don't know what else. He's got 4 championships, 2 MVPs. I don't know what else Steph could do to be in your. How is Steph Curry not in your top 10? What 10 players do you have ahead of Steph Curry? Who? No, you don't. Not ahead of Steph Curry, you don't. Who? What 10 players do you have ahead of Steph Curry? The impact that he has had on the game of basketball. I'm going to be very honest with you. We're talking about the game of basketball, right? If we're talking about the game of basketball, Michael Jordan is the only player I can think of that has impacted or influenced the game more than Steph Curry, or you may even make a case that it's even. Michael Jordan shifted the game of basketball to individual. And I know that wasn't his intent, but he made it individual. Before Jordan, it was the Celtics and the Boston Garden and the Showtime Lakers. There were teams. As good as Dr. J was, it was the 76ers with Moses Malone and Maurice Cheeks and Bobby Jones. It was a team. When Michael Jordan hit the league, it was about Jordan. The Bulls didn't have a nickname like the Showtime Lakers. They didn't have a nickname. It was Michael Jordan. He made the game individualized, and everybody started thinking, I want to be like that. I want to be like him. Steph Curry has shifted the game to, hey, if he can make it, so can I. He's a little guard. He doesn't dunk on people. He's not the quickest or the strongest or the fastest person on the court. I can do what he's doing. And he's changed the way the game is being played. Look at the amount of 3-pointers. We had shooters, Larry Bird, and even a Reggie Miller was a John Starks. Those guys were great shooters. The shooters that we had were catch and shoot guys. They weren't shooting off the bounce like Steph. We know Steph can knock it down, catch and shoot. But we've never seen a player that could ding, 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 and then get into it. Mark Price was nice. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly Chris Jackson, may have been an early version of Steph. He didn't shoot with the range. Nobody shot with the range that Steph shot with. Coach Joe, who's your top 10? Okay. My all-time top 10. Michael Jordan, number 1. LeBron James, number 2. Magic Johnson, number 3. When I saw Magic his rookie year play jump ball at center when Kareem was out in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, I said, oh yeah. And score 42? No. Magic Johnson, 3. Kareem, 4. Larry Bird, 5. Larry Bird, come on now. When I saw Larry Bird go to the Celtics in his first year, I'm talking, this is before Kevin McHale and Dennis Johnson and all those guys. And they had like a 20-game improvement. Celtics weren't good when they selected Bird. You got to remember that now. The Celtics were not good then. And just him gave them like a 20-game, Larry Bird. Shaq at number 6. Tim Duncan at number 7. Tim doesn't get enough respect. Number 8, I got Wilt Chamberlain, who, the only reason why Wilt is number 8, I just feel like he should have won more championships. I don't know why Wilt didn't win more titles. It's the only reason I have Wilt number 8. From an individual statistical standpoint, dominant. I don't know why it didn't equate to winning with Wilt. I don't know why. Number 9, Kobe. Why is Kobe not higher, Coach Jerry? If Kobe would have been more efficient, I would have Kobe Bryant higher. If he would have been, Kobe Bryant for his career shot 44.7%, right at 45%. See, all these other guys are shooting 50% for their career. That's why I don't have Kobe ahead of them. All these other guys are shooting 50% for their career. I can't. If Kobe would have been more efficient, Michael Jordan shot 50% for his career. LeBron James is shooting 51% for his career. Kareem, 56%. All these guys are in the 50s. Who else we got? Magic Johnson, 52% from the field for his career. Kobe Bryant is shooting 44, 45%. I can't do it. Shaq, well, we know Shaq, big man, 58% from the field. Tim Duncan, 51%. But even my perimeter guys like Jordan and LeBron, they're shooting 50. Larry Bird shot 50%. Up another perimeter player that shot 50%. Kobe Bryant was at 45. No, I can't. And here's the thing that you probably didn't know. My number 10 player is Steph Curry. Guess what? Steph has a higher field goal percentage than Kobe. I didn't say 3-point percentage. We know he has a higher 3-point. I'm talking about just shots from the field. Steph Curry is shooting 47% for his career. Kobe Bryant was 44.7. I got to have Steph. So I got Steph at 10 right now. Okay? You could put a Bill Russell in there. You could put an Akeem Olajuwon, a Kevin Durant, and Oscar Robertson, and Jerry West. You could put them in there. You could make a case for them. I wouldn't argue against that. But I don't know how you leave Steph Curry out of your top 10 with what he's done for the game of basketball. Speaking of performers, the World Series is tied 1-1. Toronto won Game 1, 11-4 over the Dodgers. And then the LA Dodgers won Game 2, 5-1. Now, the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani just had an all-time performance. Some say the greatest performance ever in baseball and in sports. That's what some were saying. To me, Tiger Woods winning that U.S. Open on a torn ACL, that's tough to beat that. And 2 fractures in his left leg. Now look, Shohei Ohtani had a marvelous performance. And if you want to say that's the greatest athletic performance ever, you have a strong case. Tiger Woods won the U.S. Open on a torn ACL and 2 fractures in his left leg. Yeah. But I watched Game 2 of the World Series the other night. When I saw Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitch a complete, and I was watching it, I'm watching the game, and then obviously it gets to a point where you want to see if he's going to pitch a complete game. You do. You want to see, is he going to pitch a complete game? Yamamoto, I always find it amazing when pitchers pitch a complete game because I know that's a lot of wear and tear on the shoulder and the elbow and the arm. I know it is. I know it's a lot of wear and tear. And This is his second complete game in the postseason. Just 11 days ago, he had another one against Milwaukee. He had another one against Milwaukee in the National League Championship Series. And I'm watching like, is he going to finish this game? And I'm rooting for him with each inning. I'm like, come on. Come on, Yamamoto. Come on, Yamamoto. Finish the game. And I'm looking like, don't take him out. Don't take him out. As long as that pitch counts, because he started off with a high pitch count. That's the thing that was concerning. He started off with a high pitch count. 23 pitches to get out the first inning. And he was sitting at 46 pitches by the end of the third. And I said, that's a high pitch count. But Yamamoto allowed just 4 hits, walked none, struck out 8, and retired each of the last 20 batters. The first time since Curt Schilling did it in 2001 to throw back-to-back complete games in the postseason. I think the Dodgers are going to win the series. Going in, I said 4-1. So when Toronto took the first one, beat LA bad in the first game too, 11-4. When Toronto took game 1, I said, I still think LA is going to win. And they still may win. The series shifts back to LA now. They still may win 4-1. But that's my pick for them to win 4-1. Now, looking at that performance, this puts him in elite company. Elite company. Registering back-to-back postseason complete games while allowing no more than a run in each of them. Sherry Smith did it in 1920, Sandy Koufax in 1965, or Hershiser in 1988. And now Yoshinobu has done it in 2025. The Dodgers have had 2 individual historic performances this postseason. I think LA wins the series. I'm going to stick with 4-1. It's gut check time. When you get to that point, trying to complete the game, I find that amazing. When Emmitt Smith had a game where he played with a separated shoulder, I said, you've got to be kidding me. I had Emmitt Smith as an all-time great, but when I saw him play against the New York Giants with a separated shoulder, carrying the football, he went up on my list of all-time greats. I had to give him even more respect. I said, how in the world is he carrying this football with a separated? He's playing football. When you see NBA players go 48 minutes and then maybe even into an overtime period, that's stuff like that. My hat goes off to performances like that. I take my hat off to performances like that. You got to tip your hat to performances like that. That's gut check time. Boy, that's a lot of toughness. We'll see how the Panthers season plays out. Hopefully you got Steph Curry in your top 10. Victor Wembanyama is something we've never seen before. The Hornets are now 2-1. And game 3 of the World Series is up next. Dodgers and Blue Jays. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Coach Cherry Show. You can also listen to the Coach Cherry Show on Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Patreon, as well as Amazon Music. Till next time, signing off, this is Coach Cherry. God bless you.
Staying in my lane like a track meet. Yeah, I can adjust, kinda crafty. Gotta keep going. If I stop, what would that be? Come on, coach, why you tripping? When they ask me, so I move to the front.